Coming up, our free money question of the day. We're going to get to that coming up in a second. Do we have Tonya? Do we not get it? Did we miss the window? Is that the deal? Tonya Power is talking about the National Toy Hall of Fame, which announced its new inductees, which is, yes?
I do want to say something about that. I
Okay.
saw some of the toys this morning, and there's a pretty controversial toy that made it, the Dungeons & Dragons game. Now, wasn't there a lot of controversy with that, with people kind of embodying the characters and then committing suicide or
really
hurting
people? A while back, there was
it was a taboo to be playing that.
There was there were negative stories, but this goes way back, though, about this Dungeons & Dragons thing. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, doesn't it?
I don't know. I feel
Even
like it's
beyond
always been
that,
around.
when I was a kid, I remember there were, I remember friends of mine that were big into Dungeons & Dragons. I mean, so we're talking probably 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, but then a lot of parents were, I don't want my kids playing that.
No,
because
I always felt like I'm going to say this and then instantly regret it, but
I don't
I'll
know.
say it.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I never paid any attention to it.
I believe, I shouldn't use this word. Dungeons & Dragons, to my recollection, were played by kids who would never be voted the coolest kid in the classroom. I guess I'll say it that way. You know what I mean? It was, and they were smart kids, but it wasn't like a bad kid thing. Excuse me. It wasn't like a thing that
it was almost
bad
like
kids played.
the outlier, the kids that were, they weren't the athletes.
Right.
They might have been, maybe in the computer room. They might have been
introverted.
Today, of course, they're your bosses. But they might, right? But I agree with that.
It wasn't a satanic or bad kid
While
thing.
you were out playing football
Right.
or baseball or something, they were all talking about the Dungeons & Dragons thing. So,
right.
Yeah, I guess
And Jeff felt left out. Big time.
probably that could be the case. Anyway, I'm trying to bring up the number of the toys that have been inducted, but my internet has just completely stalled here.
I just had it.
But we're not going to get her anyway, it seems like, and we missed out. But that's in Rochester, and I've been through taking that tour. It's really an awesome Hall of Fame of toys, and it's everything that you could even think about. And it's funny, too, because we've been moving, so we're going through boxes and boxes of toys and things, and all of this stuff that goes back to some toys that we found that were stuff that we had when we were kids, and what our kids had. It's really amazing how incredibly influential these toys are today.
Okay, the list of 12 finalists for this year's honors had included bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap. They
wrap.
included bubble wrap.
I can tell you that every toy or blanket or anything that we buy Carter, he's more interested in the tag than the actual toy on it.
Is next refrigerator box? I mean, what? I don't get that.
Bubble wrap, right? Care Bears, Clue, The Coloring Book, a Nerf ball, pinball, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, which I thought was cool,
yeah.
Transformers, and Uno. And I can't believe Uno's not in yet.
I can't believe
no.
Rock'em Sock'em Boppers are.
Here's Tonya.
Robots
We did get Tonya this morning. Tonya, good morning. Tonya J. Powers.
I'm still in mourning because Bubble Wrap did not get chosen.
Oh, it didn't get. Oh,
It was a nomination.
These were the nominations.
It was a finalist, yeah.
Yeah.
But the good news is I can go ahead and start voting now for 2017, or nominating now for 2017. Anybody can, actually.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Don't you think we're done with the nominating thing for a few days, though?
Maybe give it a rest for a little bit. Yeah.
I don't want to hear the word vote for a while. If you don't have to. So what toys actually have they announced the toys that got in this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, we knew the 12 finalists. Now we know which ones actually got in. It was the swing, like a
Wow.
the swing.
They're going back to the basics, yeah? The
swing.
swing.
Dungeons and Dragons, that was the other one that got in this year. And as I like to call them, the Susan Lucci or Leonardo DiCaprio of the Toy Hall of Fame, the Fisher-Price Little People, because they were a finalist 7 times or 6 times before they finally got in this year. That's the third one that got in.
That is you forget about the little, just those little marks on their face to make up the face, and those little wooden things, right?
Yeah, they're like little cylinder toys, and they I think they're plastic now, but they used to be wood, and they have the barn and the house,
right?
And the whole deal. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Have you ever been to the Toy Hall of Fame?
I have not, but that is on my bucket list of places to go.
It's really, it's in Rochester, of course. It's really, really cool. I've been there a couple times.
Do you get to play with the toys?
They have interactive areas, and I probably was there when my kids were younger, so it was probably 20, maybe 18, 17 years ago. But
I would love to go.
I'll bet they have the interaction now is probably even greater. Even then, there were a lot of really cool things that you could interact with, but it's really a cool place to go to.
I'm trying to get my bosses to send me on an upstate New York journalism tour. That's what I'm going to call it anyway. And then we come see y'all.
I
and
like
I'm going
it.
to go to the Toy Hall of Fame. And I'm sure you guys can.
Oh, we'll
set me up
direct
with
you
other
to we'll direct you to all the great places.
Best
I
yeah.
love
food,
that.
best food in New York.
Oh, you will love the food, Tonya. I swear you will love the
This
food
is
here.
awesome.
She's, of course, in food heaven in New York
that's
City,
true.
but at the same time, the Italian food and beyond
cheaper.
that, we're like a little melting pot up here. This Utica is very diverse. So
Yeah, I would seriously love to go and tour other parts of the state now
Yeah.
that I'm actually here.
yeah, all right, we're gonna help. We're gonna begin the petition to get you to do this. So
Do a
we'll
road
start
trip.
it.
I like it.
Love it. All right, Tonya, good stuff. Tonya J. Powers, Fox News. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that Toy Hall of Fame, if you get a chance, in Rochester, and Strong.
They have a lot of cool museums.
The Strong, part of the Strong sponsorship.
Because of Tonya and Christine Bellino, I actually use the word y'all occasionally. I had never used it before, the two of them. And speaking of Christine, if I'm not mistaken,
You guys did a tour.
she organized a bus trip
Before
for listeners
it
a couple
was
years ago.
A month before I came here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You guys did a whole bus tour out there.
I did not go, but I know Christine said it was really a great,
Funny,
great time.
you didn't go because you didn't have a kid, but I bet if it was done today, you'd have been in the first one on the bus. Because now you can relate, right?
Absolutely.